family disputes and offenses are protection orders, primarily a few domestics in there. Frauds are ID thefts, nothing big from the larcenies. Man down is a report that was created in error. And then I'll get to the couple of big things here. There's a prostitution call and log. This happened Sunday evening, a little after 8 o'clock is when we were called. Essentially what we had was we had a man and a woman. The guy was driving, and I don't know exactly where, but he said somewhere on Cliff Avenue, he saw a woman walking. He stopped, picked her up, was giving a ride. There was a conversation, and the two of them, he essentially propositioned her, offered to pay money for sex. She agreed to that. They went to a parking lot. It was kind of near 10th Street and I-229, and there was some sexual contact that took place in the car between the two of them, and then things kind of stopped. The woman ended up taking the man's keys and wallet and started walking away. He called police and was walking after her. Once they got everything kind of figured out, the two of them were both arrested. He was arrested for hiring for sexual activity, and she was arrested for prostitution and controlled substance. It was found that she had a meth pipe with her. I think that's the gist of that one. Do you want names on those?
Yes, please.
His last name, I'll spell it, is Akolino. First is ABU, no middle name, and he's 40 from Sioux Falls. And it was just hiring for sexual activity was his one charge. And the woman, her last name is Tierney, Tierney. First is Jennifer, Jennifer. Middle is Michelle, Michelle, and she's 41 from Sioux Falls. And prostitution and then controlled substance was her charge.
Do you know if that was her intent on walking the streets, or?
The report doesn't go into it. It just said that he saw her walking and stopped. It just says Cliff, but doesn't say exactly where. I don't know exactly what took place kind of leading up to that moment, but that's what he'd said. He saw her walking and stopped. There was a conversation. He got her into the car to give her a ride, and then the offer about the money for sex came up. Anything else on that one? Okay. The robberies, we had two of those. One of them was early Saturday morning. This was about 4:30 a.m. A man was in the, let's see. This was the 900 block of South Willow Meadows Place. He was inside his car. It was warming up. It was actually parked in a garage. And he said two guys came up to him. One of them had a gun, pointed a gun at him, and took his vehicle. He called police to report that. At one point, there was a pursuit. The officers found the vehicle, but were not able to get it stopped. And then they ended up later finding that vehicle parked. No suspects were around at that point in time. So the victim did not know who the suspects were. He gave a description of them, so we'll work on trying to identify him, but the car was returned to him. The second robbery, that was basically an ex-roommate came over with some other people, went to an apartment, and I guess under the pretense of trying to get some property that had been left there, the other guys that were with the suspect held the victim back. He was punched a few times and had some items taken, but no serious injuries from that, no arrests at this point. Sex offenses are all reports, no arrests on any of those. A couple of unattended deaths, nothing suspicious at this time. We're still investigating, and the vandalisms were all cars that were damaged in some fashion, but nothing concentrated in one area. That's all I have. Any questions on that? Okay, hang tight. We're going to get the sheriff's office in here. They've got an award to present. Just so we don't have dead air. But sheriff's office and some other people will be coming in just a couple of minutes.
Good morning. We're at the sheriff's office. We're going to do a little bit something different today, something that I'm proud to do, and that is recognize one of our citizens that did something that we think is for sure noteworthy. So I'm going to read this citation to you. I'm going to have Darren come up. So on April 19th, 2023, an incident took place on the I-90 overpass bridge near Del Rapids. A distraught individual was on the verge of taking their own life. Darren Levno, who's here with me, a resident of Hartford, played a pivotal role in preventing a tragedy from occurring. Darren was driving home from work when he noticed an individual on the bridge straddling the outside wall. Without hesitation, Darren immediately stopped his vehicle and approached the scene. Acting with courage and selflessness, Darren engaged the individual, offering a compassionate and empathetic presence during this desperate moment. The significance of Darren's involvement was confirmed by Minnehaha County Deputy Early Stonearrow, who was present at the scene and is present with us today. Although Darren left the scene before the deputies could identify him, a conversation with the suicidal subject revealed that it was Darren who extended a supportive hand and offered solace through a heartfelt hug. The impact of Darren's gesture cannot be overstated, as it brought the individual to tears, providing a profound emotional release that had been absent for quite some time. Darren's actions demonstrated not only his exceptional character, but also his commitment to the well-being of others. His willingness to intervene in a critical situation, despite the potential risks involved, exemplifies the highest ideals of compassion, bravery, and community service. The sheriff's office was made aware of his remarkable incident by a Hartford firefighter who had the privilege of hearing Darren's account firsthand. Recognizing the significance of his actions, she strongly recommended that Darren be acknowledged and honored for his heroic act. Given the extraordinary circumstances and the positive impact Darren has had on his life and on life of another human being, the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office would like to present Darren with our Citizen Service Medal. We believe that by recognizing his selfless act, we not only commend his heroism, but also inspire others in our community to emulate such acts, compassion, and support for one another. Well, thank you. And on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, I'd like to present you with this military service. You got it. Thank you very much.
And Skylar was a deputy involved, but pretty impressive. The heroics of a everyday citizen and what you did to save the life of somebody struggling with a mental health crisis. And we certainly appreciate it. Congratulations, Sheriff.
Good to see you again. You as well. All right.
Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, maybe just a minute here. It's an honor to be recognized. I appreciate it. I still think that what I did was what any other person would have done in those circumstances. But if we're going to call this noteworthy, I have to. I want to credit my parents for raising me right. Lots of training with South Dakota National Guard and faith in God. And I want a special thank you the deputies that showed up. I mean, I was probably with that individual for less than a minute. You guys were on the spot, so I really appreciate that, because it's a great situation that I was happy to be there for, but also ready to hand it over very quickly. So thank you for that. You guys do good work.
Well, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're done.
Appreciate it.